What's good, people? What's good? I'm a boss now. I'm a CEO. That's why I wear my sunglasses on the indoors because I'm a boss. I'm a CEO. Take my word for it. No, no. I'm not. I don't wear my sunglasses inside unless like my eyes are hurting or something. And I damn sure wouldn't wear this. That cheap trash. I think these ones are better. I think, anyways. Oh shit. We had such a good time on yesterday's stream. Thought we'd do another one. Scent of the day: Sphinx Fragrances Emerald Mirage. Oh my goodness. Everything we all wished City Rhythms Puerto Rico was. God damn it. Still good, but god damn it. Did Sphinx really knock it out of the park? Demand Cologne, what's up? One of the best collections in the fragrance community. I might just pick up some hommages after watching some of your videos. What's good, John the Brutal? After listening to you defend the position, I stand to be corrected in my previous opinion. Yeah, that's the thing. A lot of these guys want the black and white answer when there's a lot more to it. It's what's called a straw man argument. The reason they call it a straw man argument is because they really can't defend your position. So rather than battle that and debate that, they kind of make up your position for you, one that's easy for them to win. And then they argue that. It's called a straw man because rather than fight a live human being, they make like a scarecrow, like a straw man, and they fight that. And obviously the straw man can't fight back. That's literally why they call it a straw man argument. And that's what a lot of these guys are doing. I also got what most people call reviews, but I call them unboxings. Because that's all I'm doing is I'm going to unbox it. Might even smell it. What do we got in the mail? Running a little late, running some errands. I'm gonna bring something first to address one of my critics, and all critics here are welcome. Honestly, the only way I'm really gonna block anybody is if you start spamming racist stuff. There's just no need for that here. If you start like spamming and promoting your YouTube channel or your TikTok that nobody gives a crap, no, you want advertising here, you're gonna have to pay for it. That's usually the only way you get banned from me or blocked. But I've had to sadly add a new one. If your content is absolute garbage and YouTube keeps like forcing it down my throat, no diddy, I'm probably going to ban you, not so that you can't comment, although that is an unfortunate side effect. I'm going to ban you because your content is just that terrible, and I will do anything not to watch it. But let me just address one of my critics. Shout out to Anuj. Only Anuj is allowed to promote anything because he runs such a great store. Somebody said, you're way too into fragrances in the fragrance community. And I'm pretty sure this is another basement dweller. What I have here is a Century. This is actually a MMA speed bag. This is a really good intermediate speed bag. It's not the one that I have on my platform right now. The one that I have on my platform right now is a what's called the Tidal Super Speed Bag. It's also known as the Peanut Bag. It is the yellow all leather Tidal bag. This one's kind of a synthetic material. It's the bag that Floyd Mayweather uses to train on as a speed bag, and I think I've seen like Jake Paul training on it too. The only two places you can get it is from Tidal themselves, the boxing company Tidal, and through Amazon, the official Tidal store on Amazon. They're the only two ways you can get it. And that's the bag I got on there now on my speed bag platform. And I also picked up a Aqua training bag. That's the official name of it, the Aqua training bag. It's the best in the business. And I got that, and I picked up a Everlast 75-pound bag because the 100-pound vintage Muhammad Ali bag sadly broke on me. So yeah, I'm into a little bit more than fragrances. And you could see the thumbnail of my last video. That's me at the pool. That's the Olympic pool behind me for laps. It's got a big old clock at the end of it. And then behind that is the the family indoor heated pool, but I prefer to go more on the in the outside pool to get a tan. So yeah, while you guys are in your basement thinking that all I do is live the life of fragrances, I think the best way to experience fragrances is to go out and make scent memories. Get out of your house, people, and live your life. And trust me, the fragrances will take on a whole new meaning. And I also, sadly, I'm out of the bottle. I also drink a little bit, and this will come of interest. This is Four Roses single barrel. And you have a lot of people that either drink, whether it's drinking or whether it's fragrances, they say, I only mess with the top shelf. Well, if I didn't know anything about something, I'd probably just pay the most money, and that'd be kind of the safe route to get something good. So when anybody tells you they're only on the top shelf or they only get the best, it's because they don't know anything. And same thing on the other end of the spectrum with the cheapies, like when they only know like Lattafa or they think John Lowe Immortal is amazing. They probably don't know anything either because they can't afford expensive stuff. The ultimate connoisseurs are probably going to drink that $200, $300 stuff. Some of these even go for like a couple $1,000s. They're going to know that, and they're going to know and recommend stuff like this. Yes, Buffalo Trace is the first whiskey that I tried. And in the beginning, when I started drinking, it was amazing. I was like, wow, this is so clean and fresh. It's got like some nice, woody barrel notes to it. Like the second or third time I had moved on to other stuff and it wasn't as good, but it is a good beginner whiskey. I may even pick another bottle up just to go revisit it. I don't really like brands of shirts. I like the white Calvin Klein though. There's one thing I used to be into, but not anymore. And I see TLTG has a shoe channel now. And I did subscribe to it. And then he said, I used to collect. See, this room for years, I couldn't even open the door. It was so full of boxes of like video game stuff and shoes, a lot of shoes. And I seen he started a shoe channel. I said, you know what? In all my collecting, I've never owned a pair of Yeezys. And he was talking about the Yeezys. So I had the white shirt and I actually bought a pair of Yeezys just to try the fit. And then I said, man, these things are on sale. I'm going to fill the whole cart up. And then I saw a video of Ross with that same damn stack of shoes that I had in here. Big old stacks of boxes of different shoes. I said, no, we're not doing that again. So just it is dangerous for me to watch Ross's shoe channel. I just look at the thumbnails. I had the whole cart full of Yeezys, slides, all kinds of shit. I said, no, not again. Cindy M, I have not seen you in a long time. Sometimes we ask about you, like, whatever happened to Cindy? Is Sphinx any good? Yeah, everything I've tried is pretty damn good. I don't think I've tried a bad one yet. I like some better than others, but this one, like I said, this is what City Rhythms Puerto Rico, what I thought it was going to be. So clean, so fresh, so unisex. My wife loves this fragrance. Has Cuddles reviewed that speed bag on his Amazon account? I don't know what the hell he reviews, like the shaving shit or something. I don't know. He's a fucking bum. The very definition of a bum. And a sexual pervert. Let's not forget that he's a pervert. And the title of this video was like, should a lot of these guys be called out, or should guys like me just kind of look the other way and mind our own business? And again, the answer's not so cut and dry. I mean, if some guy out there is like a bum and has some shitty job, should like I expose him? Like, no, of course not. If he's out there fiddling fucking kids, yeah, he's probably gonna get called out. His own community should call him out. Unfortunately, I don't think people understand. I think people want to look the other way about crimes like that. Those guys can't live next door to me. Like, legally, they can't live next door to me because I live next to a school. And they can't live next door to me because if you got that in your history and you move next door to me, you will be moving out soon. I I never liked vodka. There's just not really a taste to vodka. Vodka is what I used to drink when I was younger, when I would like throw it in some Gatorade, and so that way people could just think I'm drinking Gatorade instead of getting plastered wherever the hell I was. But I understand. I mean, if you want some, because let's be real, liquor doesn't taste good. Liquor doesn't. I have to like read and research so much stuff to get liquor that I actually enjoy because for the most part, it doesn't taste good. So vodka is like you can throw it in anything and it'll taste good. Kamiki Sakura whiskey. It's a Japanese whiskey and it's one of the best I've had. I when I started getting into whiskey, I heard about this Japanese whiskey. And when I go to Costco, I see a lot of this Japanese whiskey, and it's like 30 or 40 bucks. And somebody told me, no, 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 not that whiskey. You have to get this whiskey right here. And he showed me this Japanese whiskey, and it was like $1,000. Like, goddamn. And it's like uh, I bought the whiskey that was in John Wick. It was the Blanton's. I said, oh, that's pretty good. But Keanu Reeves was like, actually, I drink this whiskey. And he showed the like $1,000 Japanese whiskey that he drank on set in Japan somewhere. And I was like, oh, but I'll have to look into that. If it's affordable, for sure, I'll try it. Absolute Aventus. I need to get that Triple H juice. I don't know what I don't know what Triple H even means. I mean, I don't think a lot of people know the difference between macerating a fragrance and it maturing, the maturation. So what does Creed mean when they say it's Triple H? Number one, there's no such thing as Triple Hing a fragrance. I, don't- I seen a video, and even perfumers will tell you triple aging. No, Creed just make that. They just made that up. Great Scotch tastes good, but it's ridiculously expensive. Plum whiskey. Oh, well, the thing about whiskey and liquor is that it's going to have some sugar in it, but not nearly as much as beer. And beer, the insane amount. I had the whiskey from yesterday that I was drinking. I drank about that much, and I poured a little more. And I was like, nah, I don't even want no more. Like I'm good. But you see guys that drink beer, they overdo it because it's just so watery. The calories they're taking in is just ridiculous. $90. Let me see. I wish there was a way to copy and paste this shit. If it's $90, I'll go pick up a bottle today. Got the whole week off. What was that? Oh yeah. Ooh, it's that Bevmo. Let's see if Bevmo's got it. Bevmo Bevmo tricks me quite a bit. I've even gone so far as to like pay for something and pay for extra to have it like brought to me, like door dashed, and then like, oh, we're just refunding you for no apparent reason and canceling your order. Chivas Regal 12-year. Yeah, some of these things are pricey. Some of the Pappy Van Winkles and all that. You know, speaking of unboxings, I got an unboxing right here that most people call reviews. Let's see what we got here. You know, John Paul Gaultier, they always promise me that they're going to give me gifts. I see no gift. Again, they said they were going to send me body washes and all kinds of stuff. They never send it. They did send me the carded samples. Yeah, John Paul Gaultier. There's actually a backup bottle of the Paradise Garden. Don't go to eBay and spend way too much on it. John Paul Gaultier has it for you guys now. I believe there's a code. I forgot what it. Welcome 2024 or something. You can look up the code. You can sign for the newsletter. I think it's like 10-15% off. But don't be fooled when they say they'll give you a gift if you spend a certain amount of money, because they don't send the gift. They owe me a gift from last time. You know who did also said they were going to send me a gift. We're going to see if they're true to their word. It's weird. This is John Paul Gaultier and this is Paco Rabanne, and they're packaged like the exact same way, and they shipped out from the exact same city and state. Obviously, they got like the same. They're coming out of the same warehouse, and they did send me the gift, Paco Rabanne. They sent me bags, but you know, the box don't matter, the presentation don't matter. Just buy a decant. It's the same thing. It's all the same juice. Just buy a decant. Wait till it hits discounters. Well, they sent me like some type of a card. What is this? Oh, it's just my invoice. Return labeling for returns. They said they were going to send samples. I don't see any samples. I honestly don't care about samples of Paco Rabanne's that I already own, so I'm not worried about that. But they did send. Oh, the samples are in the bag. They're in the bag. They did say Fame. Look, I can do a review. I have the sample, the 1 million gold that just came out. Yeah. Another of the many reasons that I don't need decants is because when you buy bottles, they send you free stuff. You don't even have to kiss the behind of the company. And they did send me the gift. Paco Rabanne Olympia. Look at that bottle. You know, one day Fragrance Dude's going to say, I do have the bottle, you bastard. And he's going to pull out this little tiny bottle. Oh, I kid the dude. He's funny. He's his videos are always entertaining. Not in the way that he intends them to be, but I do get laughs out of them. This is the new Invictus Aqua. And even from the United States, it still says travel retail exclusive. No, hold on. We got something right here. You know, the trolls, they'll just cling to anything. So I'm going to give them one. I'm going to say, look, I am a shill. I do get free bottles. Look, this bottle was free. look, snapshot it. By the way, who the fuck said I never got free bottles? Who said that shit? I got them to where I tell people, don't send me no more bottles. I got the room for them. Just send me samples, and if I like the shit, I'll go buy it. So much hype for this Invictus Aqua. People were out spending like $300 on eBay for Invictus Aqua. I just wore the 2018 Invictus Aqua, and I gotta say, I wasn't impressed. I'm more impressed by clones of it, but maybe the clones are this 2016 batch. But I'm always impressed with the bottle. As tacky as it may look, the bottle always gets me. There's no kind of Invictus or Aqua stamped on the glass. Just on the top right here, they are Raban now. Let's give this a sniff. All right, I'm going to tell you guys right off the rip, because not only have I worn Invictus Aqua like, a little bit, I just wore it. So my memory of the Invictus Aqua, the regular batches that everybody's used to, is still pretty fresh. And this isn't too far different. That other Invictus Aqua, the 2018, it is a lot of violet. It's violet leaf and violet, like the flower. And it's got that cheap bathroom cleaner smell that Invictus got. The citrus is a little different. There's like no musk in the other Invictus Aqua. This comes off a slightly more musky. The citrus is a little better. A lot less bathroom cleaner in it, but it is still in there. There is a slight difference. And I can see why this isn't like some flanker of something else. It is just, 2018, you sucked. Let's fix it and bring this back. This is the Invictus Aqua that should be sold by Paco Rabanne and not that garbage that I wore the other day. Yeah, it's good. I mean, I only paid like $120 for it. For sure, this is a winner. I can recommend it just based on what I smelled right now. Oh man, they really need to get this in stores right now, because I think if people just get their nose on it, it's going to smell pretty good. But we found an amazing channel yesterday. We found Greta Beth. We were really looking to troll some people, and then she kind of, sideswiped us here by actually having a good channel. Maybe we'll go look for some other channels. Free bottles for life. I gotta say, when these guys get free bottles, not to shame them, but a lot of them who don't want to admit it, they do not have the money to start up and fund a fragrance review channel. I don't know why they don't admit it. I don't know why. Could I do it? I honestly don't know. Could I afford to go out and get like a new Dior that I don't like? Can I afford to get like, there's a new Roja coming out. I have no interest in it, but I have to go get it for my fragrance channel. Can I afford to do that? I have no idea. But if I couldn't, I would have no problem just admitting that. And I don't know why these guys just don't take it a step down and say, look, I'm not a review channel. I'm just a guy who loves fragrances. They won't let it go. They will not let that. Just the one word in their title, they are clutching to it. They will not let it go. And they've gone so far as to say, why are you telling people? Why are you exposing these people? Why? Look the other way. Look the other. And I just wanted to make this video to know, this stream to know, should people like me be calling out fakes and frauds and scammers, or should we just mind our own business? And I'd like to get your guys' feedback. When are you starting your tarot card reading channel? I hear they are very popular. Well, I looked into how to start a tarot reading card channel, and the first thing I would need is a deck of tarot cards, which is about $6. And then I would need to pay about $75 a stream for about 100,000 views. Yes, I looked it up. Yes, it is not very expensive to buy views for live streams. Yes. So when people say, well, it's expensive to buy those views, maybe that person isn't buying views. That's bullshit. 100% bullshit. A lot of these channels need to be more relatable to everyday consumers and enthusiasts instead of shilling for money. You know, when I used to do a lot of Dua stuff, there was a fragrance. It was a hybrid of Aqua de Gio Essenza and something else, something good. Lamensite. I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is amazing. And a lot of people had bought it and said, yeah, this is great. And there was one guy, and he said, yeah, I got it. Yeah, it was all right. And even though he didn't say like it was trash or nothing, I felt like a responsibility of like, this guy watched my video and saw how great I thought it was, went out and spent real money. Granted, it was probably only like $40, $30. But that had weight to it. And the fact that these idiots, a lot of them are making pennies. They're not chaos fragrances. A lot of them are just selling those people out that watch them for pennies, for chump change. It is fucking nonsense. And me calling them out is like, hey, you guys be careful because this exists. And a lot of them are pretending not only that they're not doing it, but that it doesn't exist at all, that we should all look the other way and mind our own business. Kind of a sick society is like, look, when you see some foul stuff happening, just look the other way and just mind your own business. Eternal question. Yeah, we should call them out. And everybody does have that right. I'm not flagging their channels. I'm not kicking the decants out of their hands, Daniel LaRusso style. I don't have a petition to boycott them. They're perfectly free to sell their snake oil, and I'm perfectly free to point at them and say they're full of shit. If only I had a rich simp to pay for every stream. Well, I've got some things lined up. I've got a motel meeting in New York with a guy. And 2 weeks later, my streams will have 90,000 views. But that didn't happen. It's not like there's something called analytics. It won't affect them in any way. That's the sad part. I mean, it really won't. I don't know why they fight it so hard. I promise you, tomorrow, Chaos Fragrances, he will get in his Corvette. He will wax it. He will park it into that airplane hangar that he owns. And he may like pull out his big truck and go on his boat. It will affect him in zero ways. The only people this will affect is new people that I might save him a few $100 by pointing out that he's a shill. Yeah, I don't know why they flag your channel. Your channel's pretty clean. They must. Well, obviously, I can't see what they flagged if they flagged it. Who knows what kind of videos those were? But these people that say leave me alone, it's my free speech to say it, and then when you battle their free speech with yours, they want to silence it and they want to flag you. and they want to make a bunch of excuses and a bunch of crap. That's pathetic. That flagging. YouTube needs to do a way better job on flagging. I had got flagged one time for showing my calf, and it got flagged for porn. And I said, it's my leg. Can you look at the video? We did look at the video. I said, no, you didn't. That is not pornography. It is my goddamn 9-second video of my fucking calf and my ankle. That's my boy Ross. Are you just trolling Dirk, or do you really don't like Ross? I don't know why. I don't know why Ross gets the criticism that he does. I'm hesitant to do so because I don't like to give his trolls any attention. But I was thinking about making a stream where like we would go through Ross's channel, and I would point out all the blind buys that I've made from his channel just to show how accurate a reviewer can be, and how these are really not blind buys if you do a little research and watch good reviewers. Because when I think about all the blind buys I've made from Ross's channel, the Blue Essentials and some Latafa clone and the baby cat Quaffa or whatever that he suggested. When I look at all the bottles that I've bought from a blind buy from Ross, there's only one that I can say, and that was a fragrance called it was a Cremo fragrance, something suede. He said it was great. I said it's $15 and it smells like it's $15. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a scrubber. But so where he thought it was here, I kind of thought it was maybe down here. That's like the worst I've ever got from watching that channel. But everything else, vintage suede, I don't know, but it smelled cheap. It's a Cremo. They all smell cheap. But that's probably the worst. Everything else has been a winner. I don't even think I agreed with his absolute Aventus, but he wasn't like far off or anything. Redolessence is the biggest douche. Can't stand that troll. Yeah, I'm still sub to Redolessence. I think if I'm a fragrance company and I want my fragrance to get to an audience, and I say, Redolessence, can you talk about my fragrance? And he likes it. I think he's going to do a damn good job describing the fragrance. It's going to sell bottles. I don't necessarily think he would be lying, but that's kind of the problem, is that if he doesn't like it, he's not going to talk about it. And I thought you were a reviewer. A reviewer is not, I like it. I mean, have you ever seen a bad review from Siskel and Ebert? I mean, they trash stuff all the time. Robes 08, probably the GOAT. It trashes stuff all the time. I mean, that's kind of the job, right? I don't think I don't think that's an accurate statement, but that's just my opinion. I don't think he shills at all. I've never heard him ask for a super chat. I mean, I don't watch every second of his stream, but I've never heard him ask for a super chat. Um, he has memberships. I rarely hear him talk about them, other than like when people join them. Um, he has affiliate links like to Fragrance Buy. I've seen him buy lots of stuff from Fragrance Buy with his own money. I love Fragrance Buy, so like I don't see the issue with an affiliate link, especially the way he presents them. Like, hey, I'm not saying these are the cheapest, but if you are gonna buy from them, here's the link right there. You might as well do it through my link. So I just don't see like actual like an actual gripe of anything he's really doing. Like, I think he had Joe Mashop links, and it didn't take him long to be like, "Hey, Joe Mashop is kind of bullshit. Fuck that. I'm not doing that no more." I mean, the only thing I could say that he sold was um his own fragrances, which duh. Like, if I have my own fragrance, I'm going to be proud of it and asking you to buy them. That's what people do when they're selling something. They, they want you to buy it. I think people are confused with the polite way that he doesn't like fragrances. Like, when he says this is this and this is this, and I don't know how often I would wear it. He's telling you he doesn't like it. He's just being nice. Like, he's not going to be me and say this is absolute garbage. Ross, Redolessence, Mac Forte, and Chaos all buy subs. As much as I don't like Chaos fragrances, uh, I do like the other guys too. But as much as I like Chaos, and I don't think he bought subs, and I don't think any of those guys bought subscribers. They have analytics. He's got a certain amount of subscribers. There's going to be a certain percentage of viewers that watch his live streams, and there's going to be a certain percentage of viewers that watch his main content, which is how he got all those subscribers. I forgot what he has now, like 100,000. If he had 100,000 subscribers and his views were like 600 views, well, then we could kind of look into that. But I don't know. I don't even know why people say that all the time. Like, I literally just pointed out a channel with it has like 8,000 or 10,000, I guess, 10,000 subscribers, and it has 200 viewers during the live stream, a consistent 250 viewers during the live stream. And normally when streams like that end, it'll be like 4,000 views, 6,000 views. When this person's stream ends, it has 90,000, 100,000 views. That is when you look at a channel and say, yeah, they bought some views. I mean, I just saw a stream. It had 6,000, like, I think it had like 4,000 people on YouTube and another 6,000 on Rumble. A huge audience. And then the stream ends and it has like 30,000 people. So I'm not I'm not sure at what ratio this person is buying subscribers versus views, but and live viewers, because what will happen is you'll get a certain amount of views, certain amount of viewers, but they'll change. So you'll get 256, those will drop off. 256 will replace it, those will drop off. 256 those will drop off. Whiskey Reaper's a good example of that. Is you'll have 150 people, 3 people in the comments. Uh, at the exact 30-minute mark, like 60 of them will drop off. Then they'll blow right back up. The Parfum seems to be everybody's favorite. I do like it. I have the biggest bottle they sell of it. Did Ross promise you some busted up Yeezys? Dirk, I'm just gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this. Let me see if you guys can see it on the camera. Well, these don't have a label on it. The label's on the inside. Uh I'm not gonna be able to wear a lot of people's shoes in this community because I'm a size 12. I'm just saying. I don't got the size 9s that Whiskey Reaper has. Isn't that odd when a guy like Reaper is like 6'2" and his shoe size is size 9? Some watch channels have 30,000 and get less than 1,000 views on a normal video. That's pretty odd. God damn, one. What are you strapping on boats on them fucking feet? Size 15? Forget the Shaqs. You could actually wear Shaq's fucking shoes. Jesus. Yeah, I still talk to the Joey Cannoli crew all the time. You know, we should probably look for some horrible channels, horrible YouTube channels. Let's see if I got my headphones here. You guys want to see good fragrance channels or just absolutely horrible ones? I tell you what. God damn, 6'4". So that'd be like you're like I mean you're like this much taller than me. God damn. How do I know Whiskey Reaper's height? Why don't you get a life, you damn loser? I don't have a life because I know Whiskey Reaper's height. It's a very odd statement, one that is illogical and makes no sense. But if you want to know the answer, I know Whiskey Reaper's height because he's visited other people I know and stood next to them, and that's how you can tell how tall he is. Horrible channels. Horrible gives you more options. Channels that review decants. We actually just did a pretty damn good channel yesterday, Gringo. You might want to check the live stream I did yesterday. You might want to skip to the part where we do Greta Beth. She had an amazing channel, one that just shocked me. I wasn't prepared to see a really good channel, but it did happen. But sadly, you're outnumbered, Gringo, because they want to see horrible channels. No, I've yet to try the Ajmal fragrances. I didn't want to do this, but you guys are asking for it. And there's one horrible channel that I do know. Well, there's two. I just don't want to pick on one of them. But let's probably start with the worst channel I know. Are you guys ready for the worst channel on YouTube? The absolute avoid this channel at all costs. Who do you guys think? Who do you guys feel that I think is the worst channel on YouTube? Whiskey Reaper is probably the actual worst overall channel, but I'm talking fragrance channel. Oh, by the way, Gringo, you still never connected those dots about why would me knowing Whiskey Reaper's height make me have the need to go get a life? Like, why somebody knowing that would mean they needed to get a life. If you could just elaborate more on that. I know Juan's height now because he told me that. Does that mean I really need to get a life? Because I know his height too. You can just connect those dots in the comment section. I love it. I mean, usually when I make statements, I have like something to like support them or back it up. Reaper's currently live. You want to see Reaper? You guys want to see what a channel that buys views? You want to see what that really looks like? Let's go. Let's go. Fragrance dude's gonna have to wait a minute. This is not a fragrance channel. What kind of channel is this? I have no idea. A desperate channel? I reached out to this guy when I first started getting into the whiskeys, and he did recommend me some good ones, some good beginner whiskeys. He knows like a beginner level. Look, StreamYard is saving me from myself. It does not want me to watch Whiskey Reaper. Look, it won't let me do it. The browser can't access your stream. Try capturing a different screen to see if this continues. Why would it not let me? Maybe somebody complained about the last about the last stream. All right, it's letting me do it. Shout out to Ross who's streaming right now with 129 people. All right, we have 13,000 subscribers. It was 43 people watching. It jumped to 54, which is odd because weeks ago we seen it way up. And then I called him out for buying views, and now it's up to 52. I think he maybe stopped buying views. Let's see how many people are in his chat. 50 people. Not everybody's going to be commenting. I think if you got 50 people, you're only going to get a handful. So this isn't really going to be a good representation of. I just think he just got caught and stopped buying them. Maybe he knew we were coming from him. I see one person, two, three. Oh my God. There's about 5 people in his chat. And look at all the people with the wrenches. His whole audience is like his moderators. Damn. It's like a game of like high school basketball where there's like 30 people in the stands and they're all family members. Poor Reaper. Look, his channel used to be about whiskey. He's even got whiskey in the chat, but he's just grilling stuff. And it's sad because a lot of these cooking shows are popular. So there's going to be a lot of people that, whether it's fragrances or fitness or gaming, and they can't really garner an audience, they get desperate and they try to pivot to something that is popular. And a lot of these guys in the fragrance community somehow have figured out, let's do cooking. I remember a guy, you should do cooking. That's kind of the inside joke that I use. Like, you should do cooking. Because this idiot was like so desperate for views. He's like, just jump on something popular. You know what's popular? Cooking. You should do cooking. So that's kind of what this sad sack has been doing. God bless him. I think the purchasing of viewers really gave him an old hit to the wallet. That's why you don't see it no more. No. Let's go to a horrible channel. Horrible. We'll go into his most recent videos. But let's just start with the with what's on the first page. What metric do you use for a good fragrance channel? Just so I can avoid becoming something bad. 1 month experience. Hey, look, John. Well, I had videos prepared, and when I saw Greta Beth's channel, I was like, I cannot put out the garbage I've been putting out. I'm gonna take a break from making content. I'm gonna go back into the fucking lab and work on some shit. So you're not the only one. I suggest you go look at a Robes 08 and a Sebastian and go look at them and what's a good channel, because even I'm like, fuck, I'm just like pulling the shit out and smelling it. These guys are like fucking, they're like breaking down the history and pulling out the whole rest of the line of the fragrances, and they're just jumping in very well prepared. Like, I knew at some point, I often catch myself in the videos kind of just like looking around. People probably think I have a script in front of me. I really don't do any preparation. I know at one point I'm probably going to start at least trying to write some bullet points, some type of better preparation for the videos. Let's see. Creed testers the other day. You won't buy them again. But yeah, Creed testers have never had caps ever. Any Aventus, any I don't know, Royal Oud, Royal Water, those do not have caps. What I've seen lately and why I think Creed is really doing some shady shit, what I've seen lately is people coming up with genuine testers with caps on it. And I've only seen the last two releases have them. Absolute Aventus and this right here. A lot of you guys don't know. I don't like to name drop. I bought this beast, by the way, from a guy off Facebook, a guy I didn't know. And I seen a pretty big name, a pretty big fragrance company owner talking to the guy. And I'm like, hey, is that guy legit? And he's like, yeah, that's where I'm getting my Creed from. Oh shit. And I bought it. And the guy was indeed legit. And he showed me like these testers from Creed from somewhere. I don't know where they're from. With the caps on them. I'm like, whoa. So these last two releases, the Creeds do have the caps on them. And I don't know why we're getting this influx of Creed's latest releases from discounters before they even hit the market. It's just weird. I stayed away from fragrance dude. Something odd about him kept me away from his channel. Jeremy has a very odd channel, and his brother actually blocked me. I don't know why he blocked me. I don't know why a lot of these people, how they even know who the hell I am. Like, I've never spoken to Jeremy Fragrance's brother ever. My first comment was like, you know, hey, I saw your brother's documentary. I thought he came off well, and I signed the petition to get him into Grand Theft Auto, and I don't know, I was pre-blocked. Never had a bad thing to say about him. Never had any kind of altercation with him. He just at one point decided that guy is like dangerous or something, and stay away from my channel. So let's see what the dude is up to. With the dude, my top 5 Zaharoff pre-release edition. That's a weird top 5 list. Isn't there like 20 Zaharoffs? I don't think I could do a. I think if I did a top 5 Zaharoff list, I just want you guys to know that if I did a top 5 Zaharoff list, it meant that I'm up at 5 in the morning and I'm in such a fucking hurry, or I'm being so fucking lazy that day. Like, I only want to pull out 5 Zaharoff fragrances, and there's your top 5. Usually when you see a top 5, it's like I have hundreds of bottles in there and I don't want to dig through them for 10. So I'm like reaching back there. So I grab 5. But he has top 5 Zaharoff fragrances. Can anybody guess why he has a top 5 Zaharoff list and not a top 10? Can anybody take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess? I'll give you guys a minute to type in your guesses in the comment section. Five free bottles? Possibly. 6 bottles? This is my guess, and I could be wrong. And I think it's a combined answer of both of you guys. 5 free bottles, 6 bottles. I think the answer is he only has like 5 or 6 bottles. So what is he going to make it a top 6 fragrances? And with that, I'm going to guess, and I could be wrong. I think the odds of me being wrong are like 50%. Like, it could go either way. I think on his top 5 list, I don't even think he'll have 5 bottles, but we'll watch it and we'll find out. Enjoy the horrible content of Fragrance Dude.
Released on June 1st. The pre-order went active back in May. That today. So without further
the first thing I want to point out is the horrible intro. Am I watching a fragrance like video, or like is this going to be a sports countdown? Let's watch this intro. Live streams. Let's just call them what they are. First impressions. Fragrance reviews. First impressions. Giveaways. Buying subscribers. New releases. First impressions. First impressions. My advice to Fragrance Dude is cut the entire beginning of this intro out.
Without further ado,
cut the entire beginning of the intro out and just start from here. Look, first impressions.
what's good?
They're all first impressions. I would like for once in his life for him to pull out a bottle with like a huge fucking dent in it and give a review on that. It'll never happen. I His volume is blowing up my house. Is it the intro? Because his intro shit. Let me know when he starts talking and I'll turn it down.
Good, my great smelling dudes. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude. Thank you guys so much for joining me for yet another fragrance video where we're going to be doing some whiffing, some sniffing, and talking about the house of Zaharoff. Jeezy, the world of Zaharoff. You guys all know that. But before we get into it, if you like my content, please hit the subscribe button if you're not already. Please also, if you can, everybody on the way in, hit the like. Takes 2 seconds. Comment below. Let me know what some of your favorite house favorites are from the house of Zaharoff. And again, what spawned this video is that back in May, they came out with the pre-order sales for the first signature blue fragrance from the house. It's called Seraphim Blue. I have the note breakdown and all of that. It's just they won't be available until the 3rd to ship out. So as of me posting this video, the pre-sales are already over. It's probably already on sale because I'm posting this probably on the 3rd or 4th. And then on the 3rd, they're going to start shipping out all the pre-orders. So I'm really excited about that. I got the 4-ounce version of that. Well, I also have Bloom coming for Father's Day. My wife got that for me. And so I was like, you know what? What I'm going to do in this situation is before I get those 2 fragrances in is what.
First of all, I don't mean this as an insult. I mean this honestly. Shout out to the wife of Fragrance Dude for buying him a bottle. Not a decant, but a bottle. But once again, when he does have a bottle, it's not one that he actually went out. Somebody else actually had to go get one for him.
Well as buying another one that I'm going to be mentioning as a runner-up, I decided that I was going to go through and give you guys my top 5 Zaharoffs at this point in time. Before those all arrive, before I start smelling Bloom and getting full wears out of that from the bottle, before I get Seraphim in and I know it's going to be a banger, I want to do a top 5. And then once I do all of that, get all the reviews done, smell all of those, I'm going to come back and do a top 10 video and see how much my list has changed in the top 5. But I do want to let you know I'm doing an honorable mention here in a second. And then I'm also leaving out 2 fragrances. One I have a bottle of, one I don't. The one is because my...
Boom, right away. One I have a bottle of and one I don't. Why are you talking about it then? You don't have a fucking bottle. Number one, if you ain't got a bottle, what do you give a shit about the fragrance for? I don't know what list I would make where I'm like, I don't give a shit enough about this fragrance to go out and buy it, but I'm going to include it on this list as an honorable mention. Good Lord. It didn't take long for the non-bottles to appear.
I have to factor in the fact that my wife likes or doesn't like. I have to factor in wearability or situational seasonal value.
I'm sorry, people. If I wear a fragrance, I'm wearing this one, by the way, this Emerald Mirage. My wife actually loves it. She's like, "Is that for me?" I said, "No, goddammit. You can wear it sometimes." She loves it. But I would never have her disliking a fragrance affect some list I'm making or a review. I wear these for myself. I'm the one that has to wear them. So I may include it in the review like she doesn't like it, but that's damn sure not going to affect my opinion on the fragrance, other than telling you guys, hey, your wives might like it.
And in the one case, my wife doesn't like it, and it's situational. It's signature to back. While it is my probably number 2 fragrance from the entire house, I'm not putting that on the top 5 because, again,
it's his number 2 favorite fragrance of the house, and he won't include it in his top 5 fragrances. This guy's trolling me. This isn't a real channel, is it? He's trolling me. If you were trolling me, As somebody who's considered a troll, bravo. You are grade A masterclass troll.
I hardly ever wear it because my wife, all that. And another one, I'm not a huge fan of the opening, but I love the dry down. It is Second Soul by Justin Copeland. So yeah, anyway, now we're going into the runner-up. The runner-up here is one that I only have a decant of, and it's the one that I told you I'm going to be buying a bottle of myself. It's just I just got this in, and Eddie sent it to me, and I'm trying it out, all that good stuff. It's Signature Royale X. I have had a decant in the past, but only a really small amount of it because the decant had leaked. So Eddie kindly sent me another one, so thank you to Eddie. But what is Signature Royale X all about? Well, to me, it kind of smells almost
right off the rip. The decant appears. His experience of one leaked decant and one that somebody gifted him. This list is not starting off well. I mean, this isn't even like my 5 Zaharoffs that I own, my 5 Zaharoffs that I've experienced. This is my top 5, best of the best, but I don't own it. What? It's insane. That is insanity.
It's like if you took a blue fragrance and mixed it together with Dior Homme 2020. It has this kind of woody aromatic, but it's lavender. It's super heavy musk. It has a bit of a richness to it as well, but it feels like a blue fragrance. While they don't call it a blue fragrance.
Let me jump in here real quick as somebody who owns a full bottle, by the way, of Zaharoff Royale X. I own Zaharoff Royale X, Zaharoff Triple X, Zaharoff Signature Royale, and Zaharoff Triple X, the second batch. Are you guys ready for this? The reason that nobody calls it a blue fragrance is because it is not a fucking blue fragrance. There's nothing blue about this fucking fragrance at all. It is a woody, musky, and I mean very musky fragrance. That's why it's called X, because, you know, Zaharoff likes to promote it as like a very sexy, kind of dirty, musky fragrance. That's why there's a big old X. It's like there's nothing blue about this fragrance. It is in no way aquatic. It is in no way just a ton of, you know, various citruses. Nothing blue about this fragrance at all. What is he talking about?
That lavender is definitely centerfold. And it's definitely one of the, if not the most wearable signature scents in the entire line. But definitely getting a full bottle of that. Really love the stuff. It has an earthiness in the dry down for sure, and the musk definitely builds more into the dry down, while the lavender is more centerfold.
The musk definitely builds in the dry down. Please, somebody that knows anything about Zaharoff fragrances or owns anything in the Royale X line, even Royale, I mean, for the love of God, that is primarily a musk fragrance, so it has to build in the dry down. You smell it with the first fucking spray.
From the opening with a nice clean citrus.
And just a little more education for the fragrance douche. I know we like to think that the fragrances are built with a base and a mid and a top, but I just had a conversation with the perfumer, and that's the way we're smelling them, but they're all in there at the same fucking time. Okay, the only reason you might be smelling that is because you might have a top note, which is a citrus, that may burn off a little bit. The base itself, it is not building up. It is not coming out more. What the top is wearing off.
Signature Royale X is full bottle worthy for me, and I'm going to be picking up soon. If you like the Dior Homme 2020, you like the original Royale kind of
smells nothing like Dior Homme 2020. The only thing I could think of that has any resemblance to Dior Homme 2020 is that this fragrance may have some ISO-E super in it. That is the only thing. And ISOE Super, for the record, it's a fragrance that not a lot of people can smell.
Kind of blast those two together. So that's signature Royale X by the House of Zaharoff, my runner up. So going into number 5. Number 5 is one that just was released last year. It is a seasonal fragrance for sure, but I'm talking, you guys know I love Gourmands, and this was his first Gourmand. It's Zaharoff Signature Aurum. Now, this one isn't going to be for everybody.
Zaharoff's first Gourmand was actually Curly Scents fragrance, the second fragrance that she released. So no, that is not the first Gourmand. And some would say Coco Loco is also a Gourmand, which was also released previously to Aurum. So right off the bat, we have somebody who knows nothing about the House of Zaharoff blathering on about what he thinks about Zaharoff fragrances.
But I freaking love it. It is, when you first, it's a honey dominated fragrance for sure. Honey, it's like a honey nut Cheerio. No, but it's honeycomb, natural honey, like honeycomb in the opening. Really, really nice. Has a nice, it's almost like if you took honey and then just put a bunch of cinnamon on top. That is what the opening is of this fragrance, with a little bit of a nutty undertone coming from this kind of like hazelnut almond mixture. As you get further into the fragrance, I mean, this takes a while, probably 35 to 45 minutes at least. Once that honey, that richness starts to go away, and that's the part where I know some people are just not, it's gonna be hit or miss for you.
Just for the record, that honey in that fragrance never goes away. In 12 hours, you will smell honey and you will smell cinnamon. That whole fragrance never goes away from start to fucking finish. The only transition I think it makes is that honey starts off as a very raw, rank honey. Like if you pulled it off the honeycombs, like it is a photorealistic honey. This is California. You can go to any rural area on the side of the road and see these boxes of honey, these beekeepers. So I know what like real honey smells like, and it just smells like such a raw honey. Then it kind of blends into like a more like a sweet commercial honey, and the honey never leaves this fucking fragrance.
Once you get to the dry down though, and that honey starts to dissipate, you almost get it. It smells almost like hot cocoa, because the hazelnut comes off like a chocolate, the vanilla comes in, the tonka comes in, gives a bit of a powdery tone. So it's almost like a creaminess from the vanilla, a powdery tone from the tonka, and then this hazelnut, almost chocolatey vibe mixed together with that bit of honey that's still around. It kind of smells almost like a honey hot cocoa, and it's great. Really good. That's my favorite part of the fragrance. At that point in time, it's like a 9.5 for me, but the opening.
This fragrance never smells like hot cocoa, ever. And I'm willing to bet let me just verify here. Yeah, there's no cocoa in this fragrance. Honeycomb, cinnamon, clove, hazelnut, walnut, almond, coconut milk, amber, tonka bean, vanilla, praline. I don't see any cocoa. So his imaginary senses for his imaginary fucking olfactory is just making up notes at this point. And by the way, hazelnut is not fucking what is that shit that they fucking sell in the fucking jar? Like that's not what hazelnut smells like real hazelnut. That's like a butter. They made it into a fucking butter or something. What is that? Nutella? Yeah. Don't confuse the scent of hazelnut with Nutella. There's hazelnut in there, but that's not what hazelnut actually smells like.
It's really rich, so it comes off like an 8.5, but this fragrance is great. It's my number 5, 100%, and it lasts like 12 days. Like, I mean, most Zaharoffs last really, really well. But this one is just nuts. You spray it on a hoodie, that shit's on there for days. Like I'm talking like a week. It's crazy, absolutely crazy. The next one is my newest bottle. Really, really good fragrance, and my first ever purchase of a rose fragrance. This is Zaharoff Signature Halfeti Black Rose. Oh my goodness. So this has a bunch of different types of rose in it, but don't worry, it's not damask rose. It's not the type of rose that my wife is allergic to. What I was really shocked about with this is when you first spray it on, the rose is kind of like an undertoned nuance with this kind of bergamot basil opening that has a bit of a spice on top. I don't remember what the spice was, but it has a richness underneath it from the olibanum. But the opening has a nice, fresh citrus bergamot mixed together with a little bit of this underlying basil. You get a bit of spice in there, and then the rose is kind of underneath. As you do get further into the fragrance, that rose does.
The cologne, man. I'm looking this up right here. Praline's actually, you can't really squeeze an oil out of a praline. It's actually a synthetic accord, and it is one that stands between toasted sugar, almond, and hazelnut. So there's actually no chocolate in there, which is why I think he probably reads the notes from Fragrantica and then decides what the fragrance smells like. But that's okay because he's gonna do Halfeti Rose again.
Of a rose fragrance. This is Zaharoff Signature Halfeti Black Rose. Oh my goodness. So this has a bunch of different types of rose in it, but don't worry, it's not damask rose. It's not the type of rose that my wife is allergic to. What I was really shocked about with this is when you first spray it on, the rose is kind of like an undertoned nuance with this kind of bergamot basil opening that has a bit of a spice on top. I don't remember what the spice was, but it has a richness underneath it from the olibanum.
Some of this guy's takes on fragrances are just insane. Like there's an undertone of rose. It's called Halfeti Rose. The bottle on it, there's a gigantic fucking rose on it. It's called Black Rose. There's a giant rose on it. It's a fucking rose fragrance. I mean, I'm not a big rose fan. I was very skeptical of this fragrance when it came out, and only till I smelled it did I fall in love with the fragrance. But make no mistake about it. This is a rose fragrance. It's more of a rose fragrance than Zaharoff Rosé.
But the opening has a nice, fresh citrus bergamot mixed together with a little bit of this underlying basil. You get a bit of spice in there, and then the rose is kind of underneath. As you do get further into the fragrance, that rose does pick up, as does the olibanum, giving it a bit more richness. But I do have to say, because of that opening, it kind of gets you accustomed to that heavy rose. So if you're not a huge rose fan, I would say at least try this one out, because I mean, just the way that
the opening gets you accustomed to the heavy rose. You mean that is it a heavy rose, or is there just an undertone of rose? I'm a little confused about his take on that.
The opening comes through. It's so good. And even my wife, who hates, just like me, I hate rose fragrances. I do. She hates rose fragrances. She's allergic to rose, so I mean, even more so. But Halfeti Black Rose, it's great. I mean, somebody who hates rose fragrances and who has a wife who's allergic to a lot of rose oils bought it with her approval. I mean, it's that good. You need to try it out. If I can try it out and get it that much of a like, you should try it out as well. I mean, that nice, beautiful opening going.
Another stupid take. I've never hated rose fragrances. I thought oftentimes they were just very too floral, very feminine. Like I don't hate like rosé. It just it doesn't speak to me. If you do hate rose fragrances, you will hate this fragrance because there's a lot of rose. I hate cumin. And to this day, there is not a fragrance that is based in cumin that I would be like, but I really love this one. This guy's just a moron.
The rich rose olebana mixture in the dry down, nice musk over top of it, a little bit of spice, really, really good fragrance. That's my number 4. That is Halfeti Black Rose by Zaharoff.
Hold on, let me address this question because it is a good question, and it's one that I don't often get a chance to speak on because a lot of guys think I'm a shill because I know George and I love the fragrances. Is Zaharoff a shill brand? Can we get a list of shill brands? This is the problem. George Zaharoff, some super nice guy. The man is like, if you really get to know him, he's like fucking Jesus, this guy. And because of that, he opens himself up to so many people, and he's so nice to people. And honestly, if I were to message him like, hey, I need a free bottle, the guy would message me back like, are you okay? Like, are you having some kind of financial problems? Like, he's really got a big heart like that. And when you're that open and when you're that nice and when you're that known, you're going to get a lot of butt kissers. You're going to get a lot of people that try to take advantage of you. And so the problem with that, and Whiskey Reaper's a good example of that, is when he's so desperate to get somebody known on his channel, and and he does shit like that. Like Whiskey Reaper's like the biggest Zaharoff butt kisser known to man. And I've told George, like, how do you stand that butt kisser? I'm not some dude that looks the other way. Like, George knows I think Whiskey Reaper is a butt kisser. And there's a bunch of other butt kissers too. And that's kind of the problem. And then, like, what do you do? Like, do you change who you are, the nice guy, who you are, just so it doesn't look like a certain way? No, Zaharoff is not a shill brand. If anything, he gives a lot of stuff away to uh, channels that I don't want to say are of no use to him, but like when he gives a bottle to a guy with like 100 subscribers, that's not because he wants, his audience or anything. That's just who he is, and he's such a nice guy. So I don't think he's a shill brand. I think he's a known guy and a known brand that's easily accessible, and because of that, you're going to have a lot of butt kissers. That's my honest opinion on that. There are tons of shill brands. Zaharoff is a shill brand. Parfums de Marly. I love Parfums de Marly. That's a shill brand. That is the ultimate. We just released this. Here's my list of shills they're gonna pump up and love my fragrance. Let's get these guys their bottles first. Those are shill brands.
Going into number 3. Number 3 is a fragrance that came out the year before that. It is the most mass appealing fragrance in the entire line of fragrances by Zaharoff. You'll know where I'm going with this. This is Zaharoff Coco Loco. And so this fragrance, Coco Loco, look at the bottle. What do you think? You'll know where I'm going in the entire. Number 3 is a fragrance that came out the year before that. It is the most mass appealing fragrance in the entire line of fragrances by Zaharoff.
Yeah, I just had to rewind that because at first I couldn't believe he said something that stupid. I don't know why I couldn't believe it. I've seen his content before. There's a lot of men who don't like sweet fragrances, who don't like gourmand type fragrances. So to say that a gourmand is like the most mass appealing fragrance in the line is beyond fucking stupid. There are like a lot of niche guys, vintage guys that have kind of stepped their toe into the Zaharoff line and went and picked kind of the most like mass appealing type basic fragrance. They didn't go out and pick like a super sweet gourmand like Aurum. They actually picked Zaharoff signature. That would probably be the most mass appealing. That was before Seraphim Blue came out. I'd say Seraphim Blue is probably the most mass appealing, and you can see that in both the signature and the Seraphim Blue, because even that high standard of these vintage guys and these niche guys, they all say, hey, it's okay. Like, you won't see them say, oh, this is a bad fragrance. None of them. So when he picks out Coco Loco as like the most mass appealing like fragrance, it's beyond nonsense. It's nonsense. So many people are just like, I'm a guy, I'm not into gourmands.
You'll know where I'm going with this. This is Zaharoff Coco Loco. And so this fragrance, Coco Loco, look at the bottle. What do you think it is? Cocoa nut. Even though in the opening, Coco Loco, look at the bottle.
Look at the bottle. What do you think it is? It's a coconut. I've never seen a fucking coconut look like that. What the fuck does that bottle have to do with coconut? Can someone explain that to me? What about that bottle says, if I see that bottle on a shelf somewhere, I say, that's got to be coconut. Where does this guy fucking get these fucking ideas from? I think somewhere like in the corner of that room, there's a fucking chimp, and he's got like a fucking wheel, and he's just picking shit to fucking say for this guy, and he's spinning the wheel like, and he points to something and says, mass appealing. Stupid ideas.
What do you think it is? Cocoa nut. Even though in the opening, I do have to say that clementine pineapple pear mixture is just, it is so freaking good. It's almost edible. It is so juicy. The clementine, then you get a little bit of the pear and the pineapple, the clement, the bottle. What do you think it is?
Remember, this guy said Aurum is the first gourmand that Zaharoff released. Now I want you to hear this idiot.
Cocoa nut. Even though in the opening, I do have to say that clementine pineapple pear mixture is just, it is so freaking good. It's almost edible. It's almost edible. It's almost edible. It's almost edible. It is.
Remember, Aurum is the first gourmand that Zaharoff released.
It's almost edible. It's almost edible. It's almost edible. It is.
People. It's almost edible. You know why that fragrance smells like it's almost edible? Because it's a fucking gourmand, you stupid, silly bastard. Oh, but let's keep going. I think the stupidity is just like just a fountain that just keeps fucking pouring out fucking nonsense with this guy, this channel.
So juicy. The clementine, then you get a little bit of the pear and the pineapple. The clementine is the heaviest part of it, and then the pineapple is just below that, and then you get a bit of the pear underneath that. But it's super juicy fruit mixed together with a bit of that coconut, which does pull up as the time starts to wane. And then once you get into the dry down, it's like those fruitiness kind of becomes an undertoned nuance as you get a bit of this vanilla, a bit of the cedar creeping in. You also do get a bit of a warmth and spiciness, and then you get a bit of richness from the benzoin that comes in the fragrance. Mix that all together. It's just a beautiful, tropical, rich fragrance that lasts like 15 hours. Coco Loco is where it's at. If you're looking for a tropical...
Coco Loco lasts 15 hours. Did I hear that right? Does anybody have Coco Loco? Did it last 15 hours on your skin? Did I get a different batch? I admit that it's a good lasting fragrance. I don't remember smelling it 15 hours later. I could be wrong. Craig Stevens is walking around in his neighborhood completely naked. So if you live anywhere near Craig Stevens, either get a free show or cover up. Hold on, we're gonna do another surprise unboxing here. What do we got here? What do we got here? You know, I thought so. I thought on my skin it lasted maybe like 8-9 hours, which is pretty solid. 15 hours? 15 hours? He said that. He said it with a straight face and everything. Unbelievable. Oh, we got a tester. What is this? What is this? This is a surprise to me right now. What do you guys think this is? What do you think this is? Oh. Speaking of Parfum de Marly, I have, speaking of praline, Haltane. This is a tester. If you guys want to know what Parfum de Marly testers look like, they have the notes on the back. These are perfect for channels like Fragrance Dude because they can sit there with the bottle. They can be like, now for the notes, and they can read their little script right there on the back. This smells like, I smell bergamot, lavender. Oh, this is in French, so I don't think he's gonna be able to pull it off. Oh, praline, spice, saffron. It's beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to jack off in front of the first person I see. Well, Fragrance Dude is right there, Craig Stevens. So go ahead and have at it. There he is. What do I think of Fat Boy Fragrances? You know, when I was compiling the list of good channels to go watch, I was thinking about doing his because he's got a really good channel. His store is amazing, by the way. For those who do decants, you're gonna find a big selection of decants. But the best thing about the store is there's always promos, fastest shipping in the game. Period. He got the fragrances at TJ Maxx rack store because he don't got a real job. He has a real job. It's just which is baffling of why he feels such the need to shill. Oh damn! What is this? Lie about a free decant. God damn! Why the hatred for one? The customer's always right. He says, "What is this?" Wait a minute. Aren't you the guy that won the? Aren't you the guy that won that horrible fragrance I was giving away? That Ganymede? You did get my decants, didn't you? Oh, but that's horrible. You should something was wrong with something you ordered from one. I mean, go reach out to him. He'll hook you up. He'll fix you up. I don't know what all this is. Yeah, he's got a positive channel. He's got a channel so positive, like it made me kind of tone down to what I was doing. That's why we're watching Fragrance Dude and kind of laughing at him, and we're not watching some fragrance bimbo really ripping into her. But that's terrible wasted again. If there was an issue with Juan, I promise you he'll do his best to make it right. Juan lied to me. Bro, try to reach out to him. There's no way that I don't think that would happen.
Juicy fruit coconut fragrance. That's what this is. That's what it is. It's a candied citrus, like candied fruit mixed together with coconut and vanilla.
I don't know where he's getting this candied fruit from. I get a lot of like thick sweetness from Tonka in this fragrance.
It just,
how much of this has he actually worn?
It's great. It's just really one of the best tropical fragrances.
You see, are you guys looking at that? This is like one of his top Zaharoff fragrances.
No, it just, it's great. It's just really.
This is one of his top Zaharoff fragrances, and there's like hardly any missing. There's hardly any missing out of that bottle, which is pretty fucking sad. And it just shows you what kind of a fucking scammer he is. Let me show you something about one of my favorite Zaharoff fragrances. Now I went ahead and opened up the shelf. I do not have my Seraphim Blue candy. It's probably in the other room because, you know, unlike this clown right here, I actually use these fragrances and wear them. I don't have that one in front of me, but I do have some of my favorite Zaharoff fragrances here. And as you can see, mind you, when I had just this bottle, it was the only bottle I had. It was discontinued. I couldn't find it anywhere. So I would use this sparingly, and still I have, you know, somewhat of a dent in it. And then that dent's going to go down a little slower because now I have a backup bottle. So I'm in between these two bottles. So this even has a little bit missing from it. My Seraphim Blue's got a huge fucking dent in it. And this is Citrine. Still waiting on that big bottle, George. Whenever that thing releases, I'm there. Look, this is my Citrine. And I'm just wondering if these are his so-called favorite fragrances, how none is missing. None. Still confused about why there's a picture of the bottle in the corner. He's so used to decants. Why is there a picture of a bottle in the corner if you're showing them the bottle? Like, what is the point of that?
Really one of the best tropical fragrances out there. This and Lamari Porthole are probably up there as far as like my two tropical fragrances.
Damn, it's not only one of the best fragrances of Zaharoff, it's one of the best tropical fragrances, period. You would think there'd be more missing.
As far as my favorites, that's definitely my favorite coconut tropical fragrance though. All right, so going into the last two, I know which one I'm going to put at 1, but it's hard to put number 2 at 2 because I like it so much. I got it earlier this year. It's one of my favorite fragrances now, and I mean, it's just really that good. But at number 2, this is Zaharoff's Signature Citrine. Signature Citrine. I'll show you the bottle again because I probably had a graphic on the screen. Zaharoff Signature Citrine is the Citrine citrus is.
Okay, now let's give him a little bit of credit. Unlike 99% of the fragrances he shows, he's actually worn that one. Maybe he'll have a good take on this. I'm in a win-win situation. Look at that fucking face. I gotta move that still right there. Okay. I'm in a win-win situation here because if he accurately describes this fragrance, it would mean that he obviously wore the fragrance. Therefore, yes, you have to actually wear a bit of the fragrance, not just a decant or a sniff, to know what the hell you're talking about. And if he doesn't accurately describe the fragrance, that means he's an idiot who doesn't know anything about fragrances. It's win-win for me, baby. Let's go.
It's orange. I believe it's mandarin orange, clementine, and I don't remember the third one. But it's
You believe it's mandarin orange? It's actually clementine. It may be both, but if you're not sure, there's a picture of it on the fucking bottle, you moron. What do you think that is? A calendar? You think that's the Aztec calendar?
it's like 3 types of orange style fruits, citrus, you know what I mean? And then you mix that, so it's very citrus, very citric in the opening, very bright. And then you do get a little bit of a green tone underneath it and a little bit of spice coming from the cardamom. You also have a little touch of white florals. I think it's jasmine. And then it's encompassed by musk. You also, as you get about 5 minutes, 10 minutes into the fragrance, it has a little bit of a fruity tone. I'm not sure what that's coming from, but you also do get a bit of like an offsetting sweet and spicy pink pepper. But don't get it twisted. This is a simplistic fragrance. There's nothing wrong with that. It's a citrus, slight green, spicy fragrance that is encompassed by musk. As you get to the dry down, you get a little bit of a woody nuance, as well as a little bit of this moss accord, but very high quality citrus. Very, very nice fragrance. It's light on me though. It's gotten better as it's macerated, but I do have to say the one drop.
Damn it, fragrance dude. You know, this is where I was going to point out and said, look, he actually wore the fragrance. And then that's why he's been giving it an accurate description of this fragrance. Because up until then, he's actually been giving a decent description of it. Which is why why I fucking it's why I go so hard on this a lot of these decant guys, because literally this is an example of how you really don't know shit from a decant. You have to give it some wearings and some time, which is why even this nitwit actually accurately described Zaharoff Citrine. And then he just couldn't get through one of the fragrances without looking like a dumbass. He said, oh, it's gotten better since it's macerated. This is macerated more. The maceration process happens before it's even in the box, fragrance douche. Before it's even in the fucking box. I promise you, there's some Citrines, there's some Zaharoff fragrances that have not been released yet right now that are macerating, because he's not going to sell an unmacerated fucking fragrance. There is no fucking macerating once you get them, you idiot. Look, it's already good to go. The maceration thing in this community is so laughable. I've seen so many stupid morons do the stupidest shit. The Dua guys are the fucking kings of this. Putting the shit in their fridge, putting it in a fucking air fryer, or whatever the fuck stupid ideas they're having. Put some air in it, guys, and let it sit for 2 fucking weeks. This ain't bathtub perfumery, people. This is fucking Claude motherfucking Deer making this shit. This ain't a fucking Dua. It's gotten better since it's macerated, guys. You know what this fragrance smells like from the first day I bought it? And I bought it like, it's like a day one release. I bought it from day one. From now, they're the same fucking fragrance. There was no magical maceration involved. The only thing that has changed with this fragrance is that Zaharoff released a lotion and Zaharoff released a body wash. And when you combine those three with, all together, this fragrance lasts for fucking days. This fragrance, damn near beast mode when you wear that, when you wash with that body wash and you wear that body lotion. lasts for days. Actually comes out a lot more musky too. The maceration, it's gotten better since my maceration. Maybe you had a sinus infection when you bought it and one of them nostrils fucking cleared up. That's just the stupidest fucking shit that I'll hear in this community is the magical maceration.
Back with it, it is that it's light. You have to spray it a bunch of times. Like I'll spray it for my scent of the day today, and this is how I spray it, because you have to do that. And it lasted like 4 to 5 hours on me when I do that and spray it on clothes. So I mean, it's not the best performer, but I honestly don't care. It's great. It's one of the best smelling fragrances I have in my collection. One of the most higher quality. Well, I mean, you can't really knock any Zaharoff for quality. He just uses the highest quality notes out there. I mean, highest quality oils. I mean, it's the ingredients in them. If they have a natural ingredient, you can best believe George is using that natural ingredient. They use Mon, and Mon is known worldwide as having one of the best ingredients for any of all perfumers. So anyway, Zaharoff signature citrine, really nice citrus, so kind of like a offsetting green spicy tone, a little bit of floral, so a slight bit of woods, and then some musk encompassing.
He's actually described the fragrance, the one that he's actually worn, pretty accurately. My only gripe is the stupid maceration that he doesn't know what even that is. And you've already described the fragrance, so shut up and keep it moving.
The whole fragrance. So now going into the last one, it wasn't even close. This has been my favorite since I got it. Really good fragrance. It's an all season, and it's not before Seraphim Blue. There was a blue. It just wasn't in the signature line or any of George's lines. This was in the Z Creators line. This is Business Over Pleasure by TLTG Reviews.
Now look, we're on the internet. He's far away. By the way, he has worn the fragrance. We may get even an accurate description on Business Over Pleasure. He's far away. I'm far away. I'm never going to do anything to him. If I actually met him in real life, I'd probably fucking rustle his hair. Hey, little guy with your fake reviews. Would never do anything to him. But again, this is one of my favorite Zaharoffs. And if you fucking misrepresent or misdescribe this fragrance, I will fucking slap the shit out of you, you fucking beaver motherfucker. You tread lightly on this description, man.
And Zaharoff. Created by, I believe it's Claude Deer. This is...
He said created by, I believe, Claude Deer. I believe Claude Deer. All Zaharoff fragrances are created by Claude Deer. He is the in-house perfumer of fucking Zaharoff. They're all Claude Deer, you idiot. Is there one that's not Claude Deer? Maybe like Curly's maybe is not a Claude Deer, but every fragrance in the Zaharoff line is essentially Claude Deer.
Is a signature scent that is for all seasons. It's fresh, clean, blue, pretty much everything that you need. Has a bit of
bullshit. That is not a fucking winter fragrance at all. At all.
Spice to it. So good. Starts out with a beautiful, high quality bergamot mixed together with a little bit of a zingy ginger. You also get a bit of the coriander Szechuan pepper that comes and gives a bit of a spicy tone to it. And then the iris kind of takes over. The fragrance has a bit of a woody take to it. It has a little bit of a musky tone, but it is clean, fresh, soapy iris. Really beautiful fragrance. You get that ginger again, providing like an effervescent pop to the fragrance. It is super mass. I mean, I would still say this is the most mass appealing one, but as far as wearability, this is definitely the best, most wearable fragrance in the...
This isn't the most mass appealing, but this is the most wearable. I'll say this. The only reason it would be even considered an all-year fragrance is because it's called Business Over Pleasure. It's probably intended to be an office fragrance, which means in the winter you'll probably be in the office. If he were to say this were the most mass appealing fragrance, I would probably agree. And the reason I would agree is because it's so easily wearable. You're not going to offend anybody wearing this. And just for him to contradict himself and saying, this is the most mass appealing, but this is the most wearable, like,
the entire line. He downplays that to this day, and I think it's because of the fact that it's no longer exists. But if this still existed today, I can tell you this would be a lot of people's favorite. And I've sent a few decants to other people, and they agree. I mean, it's great. Business over pleasure. Knocked it out.
Well, we now know how that dent got in that bottle, don't we? He's decanted it to a few people. God damn it, Randy. You had me for a second. You had me giving you the props on wearing the fragrance, and then the fact that you decanted some of it out. Oh my God.
Out of the park. He just killed it. I mean, Evening Mystique wasn't 100% my cup of tea, and I said that from the beginning. I mean, it was like a work of art. It's just a work of art that I can't really wear much. And that was my issue with Evening Mystique, is just like, I don't know when I'm going to be able to wear it. And I can see he put so much work into that, but this one is on a different level. This one is so fucking good. It's like the best fragrance that came out from that house in a long time. And while all of those are great, this one is just, it's on another level. I love it. And I hope that some of you guys have smelled it, or at least will get to smell it at some point in time.
Well, I'll give Randy credit. His top 5 list is very unique. I don't think they're going to match anybody else's top 5 list. I think he did a great job describing two of the fragrances. I'm pretty sure he wore. I can't even say he wore the Coco Loco. I mean, the Citrine, because he decants his shit out to his other decant reviewers, decant buddies. I can't even say that, but let me address Wasted again. Ganymede by Marc Antoine Barros smells like I've been drinking coffee all morning and took a piss. A strong smell of coffee piss. Thought I was being trolled. Horrible. If you don't know who Wasted again is, I did a giveaway. I believe it was the Black Rose, right? And then I said, I'm going to throw in this genuine decant of Ganymede by Marc Antoine Barros. You know, that fragrance that the community hyped? I said, I'm going to give you this fragrance, and it is absolutely horrible. It smells like filthy, nasty, dirty money, like cash. No, I was not trolling you. The fragrance is indeed terrible. I get the coffee piss. I don't get the coffee. I get the piss smell. But no, I was not trolling you. It is a terrible fragrance. I don't know why people in the community ever hyped it. I guess because it was supposed to be like niche Fahrenheit. No, it was just a god-awful fucking fragrance. And I'm glad that I was able to remove that stench and give it to you. Now you can enjoy it. But you know, this video. This was just the first one I saw. This video was just the first one I saw on the page. Let's go through his most recent stuff, because maybe he's gotten better. Here we go. Here we go. Creed Triple H. It's not out yet, but you know, Randy, what does he got to do? He's got to go rush out and find a decant. I want to be the first. Oh, good Lord. This is an indie house. I can promise you, he's probably already talked to the guy that owns it. Probably's got a fucking promo code in it. Cheap trash. Let's try to see what 1 million gold oud. Oh, good Lord. Do I even have to guess if he's got a fucking bottle? Does he got a bottle? Wait a minute. He's got a first impressions And then he's got the review. Let's try the first impressions.
Empower your students at every stage of the writing process with Grammarly's generative AI.
So there was a new release that was announced about a week and a half ago. Brand new fragrance by Raban. This is
Decant guy. Yes, it's a decant.
1 million gold, or just million gold. I keep forgetting to say that.
I like the decant, but like it's a decant, but the bottle is fucking on the sticker. But the bottle doesn't matter. Look, where's my sample I just got? You know, I bet if we this is the sad part about not just old Randy, not much of a man, savage dude over here. There's a problem with a lot of this community where you could see this guy ran out and he fucking bought a decant of the Creed Triple Aged, but he honestly probably has no interest or love or passion for the House of Creed, but he just did it to like the cheapest possible way to get views, like just to be the first at something. And it's just absolutely sad. And I bet he would get a bag like this and like my Jean Paul Gaultier's and be like, ooh, that's 1, 2, ooh, that's 5 videos I could make. And just absolutely the fucking worst possible reason if you're not a legitimate reviewer, a real reviewer, to just go out and like buy a decant of shit. Just to buy a decant, like I'm probably not even gonna like it, but let me get a decant of it.
That. So without further ado, let's get it. 24 new release designer fragrance, as always, saying that it will be checking this out. Before we get into the first impression,
that's his first impression. We saw what he's worn of it.
Niche quality, as far as like, or niche style, I should say, gold. So without further ado, I'm going to talk about the
I remember
review.
this video.
Now that I've
This is the video where he said, I'm ready to give my full review. I've worn it 3 times. No, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
What's going on, my great smelling dudes?
Now this fragrance, hey, I happen to have this right here. Look. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Male Lover. What up? What up? Welcome. This DB, he's his channel is What About Frags or Decant Ant on Facebook. You'll love this because I know you've made fragrances before, and just the ideas that some of these people have about fragrances and how they're made are just hilarious, and how they're trying to break down these fragrances and be professional reviewers. You're going to get a kick out of this. But yeah, he's got it. He's got his first. Thank you, by the way, for titling it First Impressions, because that's really all your videos are. Just change the titles to all your videos.
This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with. So I finally got my order in. I told you, finally got my order
look at this,
in.
Look at this part. Look at this part.
Dude, back with. So I finally got.
Yeah, nice editing, bud. I told you, man, the cheap, low quality. If I were YouTube, if he's got any kind of monetization, I would just remove the monetization for, low quality content.
Got my order in. I told you guys last week that I had an order coming from News Parfums that had 3 brand new release fragrances.
I'm aware of News Parfums. That's generally where you get fragrances that are only available in France. That's the only reason I would pay $20 shipping to get a bottle from them shipped from France. He said it was a new release. It's very odd because this was out even before Le Male Elixir. So there was not one but two releases from Jean Paul Gaultier after that new release of Le Mans Lover. And secondly, it is so not a new release that 6 months ago when they had this on News Parfums, because that's how far back it was released, this bottle is actually from Jean Paul Gaultier in the United States. So it's a new release, but it's been in France for 6 months, and you bought it from France like a week ago. Do you mean it's a new release in the United States where you did not buy it? I'm confused here about why this is a new release. I've had this for quite a while, by the way.
Guerlain's Abbey Rouge Parfum, the new Santal Marin by Kenzo.
Oh, and I saw his video about Guerlain Abbey Rouge. Was it the parfum he was talking about? Is that what he just mentioned? This is the Privé. I got the parfum somewhere, but I've seen his trash video, and it was just absolute fucking blasphemy. Absolutely fucking horrid video. Yeah, this is the parfum right here. Stay away from Guerlain, bud. Just stick to the Ideal line, the popular shit. Don't you dare touch fucking Abbey Rouge. Abbey Rouge, not Habit Rouge. But let's go back to his absolute thrashing of this fucking fragrance that he knows nothing about.
And this one I'm going to be reviewing today, doing my first impressions. This is Jean Paul Gaultier's Le Mans Lover. So that's what I'm talking about today, doing my first impressions. So without further ado, let's get it. But before we get into that, if you like,
I'll save you his horrible, shitty action movie intro. Terrible intro.
my content, you're not subscribed already, we're almost at 10,000, so please do that. Also hit the like, comment below, let me know if you're interested in trying this, if you've tried it, what you think about it.
See, I don't think Randy has purchased any of his subscribers. I think he's genuinely built his channel, which is the sad part, because now we know that there are 10,000 really fucking stupid people out there in this community. And I mean the dumbest of the dumb, the dullest of the dullards that'll just fall for anything. And I used to watch his lives, and I would just be shocked, like people asking this guy questions like he's a fucking expert. They're not just asking them like, "Hey, I see you got that new Creed. What did you think about it?" They're like, "No, what should I do? What should I do? What should I wear? What should I buy? What should I do?" Like he's a fucking expert. Like, good Lord, people that. How do you amass 10,000 stupid people? I imagine they're so stupid they like stumble around and then you can't get them all in one place. But he's managed to amass them into one channel. It's fucking hilarious. It's like lemmings falling off a fucking cliff. They're falling off of a cliff into the stupid pit known as Fragrance Dude's channel.
Back to back to back, and then I'm going to release the videos and what you think about it. So again, I got 3 fragrances in this haul from News Parfums. I'm going to be doing them back to back to back, and then I'm going to release the videos and my least favorite to my most favorite. So
did you hear what the man said? He's going to be he's got 3 fragrances and he's going to make videos back to back to back, meaning he's going to wear one on Monday. He's going to wear one on Tuesday. He's going to wear one on Wednesday, make videos for each of them, and then release them in a certain order.
Whichever one you see first is going to be my least favorite, and then so on. So we'll see how this one fares. But again, that's going again.
Here's a crazy idea. Why don't you wear one of them, spend some time with it, learn about it, educate yourself about it, so that you have enough information to share that information with others? Maybe learn about the fragrance. Or you could just wear it once and pump out fucking cheap crap content.
Against Abbey Rouge Parfum, which hint, don't really like that much.
You don't really like Habit Rouge Parfum because it's not made for people like you. It just isn't. Guerlain doesn't make shit for you. Well, they do. It's called the Ideal line. That's the only things they make for you. Stick with that.
I sprayed it on right before this video, like an hour before the video, and I'm going to be recording that after, but I just wanted to get a feel of the dry down because the original Abbey Rouge Privé from last year, it took like 2 hours to get to the dry down. So I wanted to have a head start on that one.
Abbey Rouge Privé is not the original Abbey Rouge. How about Abbey Rouge EDT? How about Abbey Rouge EDP? How about Abbey Rouge Low? How about Abbey Rouge? I think it's Dress Code. Yeah, not the original Abbey Rouge. Oh, the first one you've ever tried because you're like a fucking TikToker, Mr. Social Media, wear it once guy.
With that said, we also had Kenzo Om Santal Marin and this one. This is what we're doing my first impression on today. It is Jean-Paul Gaultier's Le Male Lover, which loosely translates to the man lover. And so if you're uncomfortable in your own skin, or you're like a sissy or a twat or something like that, and you get offense by that and you can't wear a fragrance just because of the name, then I mean, do you, bro? But honestly, it's all about the fragrance. And so I don't care. I mean, it's not like my wife is going to be like, haha, you have a fragrance called the Man Lover. I mean,
all right, guys, are you ready for more proof that this guy is a fucking moron? That does not translate into the man lover. Jean-Paul Gaultier released a fragrance called Le Male, the man. You know, like this fragrance is for the man. Like you wear it, you're the man. And so they made different fragrances in that line, like Le Male Parfum, Le Male, Elixir. So this is Le Male Lover. So within that line of Jean-Paul Gaultier's The Man, the fragrance itself is called Lover. It's not The Man Lover. It's called The Man, like you're the man.
Bro, I'm married. I'm comfortable with myself. So anyway, the canister looks really cool.
And I don't think you're that comfortable with yourself if you would get too hung up on that it's called The Man Lover.
I took off the cellophane because I hate the canister. It takes forever to get them off. But yeah, it looks like an Ed Hardy poster. It's actually really cool. It's probably my favorite one from the house. And then the bottle. Oh, the bottle looks the same too. I didn't notice that. But yeah, it's a little bit darker, but really cool. And I'm guessing this is going to be a fresh Le Male. I mean, it's released in the summer. And the other fresh Le Males I've had were Airlines. Didn't really like that one too much. In the Navy, that was okay.
By the way, he's not guessing that this is going to be a fresh Le Male because it actually was not released in the summer. It was actually released like in the winter with Le Male Elixir. So when he says that he's guessing that it's a fresh fragrance, he's guessing because he's went to Fragrantica. He's guessing because he's seen other reviews. Just stop it. Please stop it.
The 3 character bottles, which were Le Male Eau Fraiche. Superman was a little bit too floral, but I liked it. Popeye was nice. And my favorite of the 3 was Andre Edition. I have that in the other room. It's filled with ISO E Super. It's a fresh Le Male, a little bit more modernized. Very nice with neroli, and it lasts like 8 to 10 hours. So it's a really good fragrance. So let me get this out and get it primed onto my skin. There we go. Oh,
I guess we're not going to wait for that alcohol to dissipate, are we? let me hear. I want to hear what this guy thinks of that first blast that he didn't wait for air to hit it. He just went straight in for that alcohol blast. Let me hear what he thinks of that alcohol blast.
that's really good.
He loves alcohol, people.
That's really nice. It starts out, it has like that Le Male-ish DNA, like that Le Male Eau Fraiche style DNA, where it's almost like a fresh, modernized version of that vanilla lavender, but it has a little bit of this spice to it, like a little bit of pepper, as well as a slight bit of citrus. I can't tell what it is though. It's like some kind of like mandarin orange, or maybe like a mandarin orange lime mixture. I'm not sure. I haven't. It's mixed in with that spice, so it's kind of like dominating the fragrance. That freshness and the spiciness is overtaking the citrus, but it's a nice blend. Also has a little bit of a like a fresh ambery undertone. This is really good. It kind of like reminds me of almost like a peppery version of Le Male Eau Fraiche, the Andre or the Popeye. It's not, doesn't remind me of the Superman, because that one had a little bit too much floral. But yeah, this has a sweetness, but it's not overly sweet. It's fresh. It's clean. It has a little bit more character than the character bottles. Because of that spice and that lime-ish orange scent that's in the background. And this is no way leaning feminine. This is no way leaning unisex. This is
I sprayed this fragrance right now to kind of remind myself of what it is. Me personally, all I get from this fragrance is, yes, it's a little light and fresh, but this is basically like a thick, dense, like almost like a doughy, like a Play-Doh like vanilla, which I do like. I like weird shit like that too. But when he said citrus, when he said there was a bunch of citrus and he couldn't figure it out, I sprayed this card with it. And I'm like, I get like vanilla, maybe some type of wood in it, but I'm like, I don't get any citrus. So then I typed it into the notes, like, what is the citrus? It's finger lime. Yeah, this fragrance, if you really want to know what it smells like, it's all ambergris vanilla and fucking some slight woody notes. All the rest of this shit is just he read for Granica or something and he's trying to remember it.
This is actually like more on the masculine
If you're waiting for a big blast of like finger lime in here, like you're not gonna get it.
side. I mean, it's really nice. It falls in line with the Le Male Eau Fraiche, the Code Colonias. It falls in line with those, where it has that fresh, clean, but also it has that vanillic tone and a little bit of amber underneath it. But this one just adds in the spice and almost like a mixture of the citrus. Still a bit aromatic, but yeah, that's really freaking good. Well, I'm not going to keep smelling and telling and smelling and telling. I'm going to come back in about 45 minutes. I'm going to do one of my other first impressions, and then I'm going to let this one dry down, let you guys know exactly how this dries down to about 45 minutes, and then we will be right back. All right, my dudes, we are back. This is about 35 minutes because it's telling me what I need to know. We are doing my first impression of Le Male Lover by...
He's worn it 35 minutes, people. That's all he needs to know. 35. I've worn this I believe like 3 times. Not very much. 3 times is not all I need to know about this fragrance. Not even close. I'm actually more interested in this 1 million gold. But by the way, let me tell you guys what that fragrance really smells like. This fragrance smells like a fragrance called Cairo Nights by Sphinx Fragrances. I think Le Male does a really good job doing it. I think it's light and airy, but it's like a very vanilla forward fragrance. There's supposed to be some like watery notes to it, like an ocean note to it. I guess that's what's making it light and airy, but it's a vanilla fragrance, people. And I think it's okay. I don't think I would recommend anybody go out and like get a bottle of this. I'm a collector of the Le Male series, so I have a bottle of it. But very underwhelming. It's a very odd release from Jean Paul Gaultier. I don't know. There's nothing unique about this fragrance that would make me say go out and get this, other than it's a really cool looking bottle. I love the bottle. I love to have this on my shelf, but it's such a basic bitch that that's probably why I didn't do a video on it or wear it more. It's just a basic bitch, and I only really wear it when I kind of crave that vanilla. It's a little too warm to wear like a dense vanilla fragrance.
By Jean-Paul Gaultier. Again, if you can get past that name, which shouldn't be a big deal to people who are comfortable in their own skin, it's really a freaking good fragrance. It pushes out phenomenally. It's actually better than I'd never thought.
By the way, I wouldn't call Randy a dead horse. He's more of a beaver. And he's not dead. He's very much alive. And bad publicity is good publicity? No, good publicity is good publicity. Bad publicity is bad publicity.
Thought that there would be a fresh Le Mans that pushed out better than Le Mans.
But I'm not publicity. I'm just a guy kind of making fun of this guy for not knowing shit. He shouldn't care I'm doing this, and nobody else should really, other than the 30 or I don't know how many people are in here kind of laughing at this clown.
All Eau Fraiche Andre Edition, because that has the ISO-E Super in it, and that helps it push out and stay on your skin for about 8 to 9 hours. This one is,
I think there's 2 notes he knows now, like 2 or 3 catchphrases. He knows bubblegum, and now he knows ISO-E Super, because everything he fucking smells has ISO-E. It's ISO-E Super. I smell the ISO-E Super.
actually pushing out a bit more. And it's, again, even at 35 minutes, we're well above average pushing out right now, 6 feet. I mean, it is fantastic. But the reason I said I didn't need to go much further into the dry down, it's because it's linear, but it's a good linear. The only difference is that
you didn't feel you needed to go much into the dry down is because you're not concerned about what the fragrance smells like. You're concerned about pumping out a video. And you didn't even want to wait 45 minutes. The 45-minute time mark you yourself set. You could not wait. You wanted to come back, finish up this video, and get the fuck out of here with your half-assed first impression.
there was this kind of like citrus mixture. I had to look it up. It's finger lime. I've had issues with finger lime in the past where I didn't know exactly what the smell was. But yeah, the citrus in it is finger lime, which, if I can recall, was in that fragrance by Goldfield and Banks, Bohemian Lime. And I think that was the other one that I had issues trying to figure out what kind of lime it was. But yeah, this one, it has that peppery tone. It has that freshness. It has that aromatic vanilla that you get from, it's like a modernized vanillic Le Mans. So it's the Le Mans DNA. Let's just say Le Mans Eau Fraiche. If you've tried that, it's a peppery Le Mans Eau Fraiche with this lime mixture up top. That's what it smells like, at least for the first like 30 minutes. And then that lime starts to go away. And then that's pretty much what you're left with is more vanilla in place of that lime. And it's beautiful.
Do you think we can get a video where he can describe the fragrance without comparing it to another fragrance? Because that's kind of fucking lazy. It's kind of like, I don't know how to describe what I'm smelling, so it smells like this.
It's simplistic. It's very easy wear. So the only one that it might not beat is Andre Edition, but I hit the spot for me. But this one does. My wife tested it and she said, wow, that's actually really freaking good.
Yeah, that fragrance is it's nothing to write home about. I don't know why he would insist on making a video about it. There's nothing mind-blowing about it. If you want to see a good video about Lamal lover, I suggest you check Robzo8 channel, who did this, I don't know, months ago. Odd, this is a new release, but he's had it for months.
Not tomorrow, not next week. Today is the day. I hope you will donate.
All right, this horse is not quite dead. It's still kicking. I see its little hoof fucking shivering. We're going to give it one more quick beating. The reason we're going to give it a quick beating is because this was almost my scent of the day. It's called Simon? Simon? Wait a minute. Oh, hold on a second. Let me get this fucking bottle. Hold on a second. Remember, Simon Nitro Red. Simon. All right, you guys got to see this. No bullshit. These were my two choices for scent of the day today, and because I had worn the Sphinx that I'm wearing right now. I had wore it at night, like after I wore something else. So I wanted to give it its own full wearing for today. I love this fragrance, by the way. You guys really should go check out a travel size of it. They Sphinx offers some good travel sizes for like 20-30 bucks. But these were my other choices that I was having, for my scent of the day. One of them is my favorite Michael Malul fragrance. It's called Michael Malul Visionaire Midnight Blue. As you can see the dent in it when I say it's one of my favorites. The dent doesn't lie, people. Just remember that when you see these frauds. And there's a watermelon note in it that's absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful, full blue fragrance. I love it. That's why I've worn it so much. And then a fragrance that's kind of similar. People say that it's got watermelon in it. It's called, according to Fragrance Dude, it's called Simon Nitro Red. But Simon Nitro Red. My bottle doesn't say Simon, but it's not Simon Nitro Red. It's Dumont, you idiot. Dumont makes this fucking fragrance. Who the hell is Simon? Who in the blue hell is Simon? I want to know. Where's Simon? Well, who is Simon? Dumont Nitro Red, people. Dumont.
I'm not 100% sure if this whole line is clones or if they're just inspired by. I know this one is definitely up that route while doing its own thing. With that said, again, this was starting to be.
For the record, as we just spoke about Invictus Aqua 2018 and this new reimagining, I guess, of the old batch, this is not a clone of Invictus Aqua at all. Is it in the same vein, that style? Absolutely. Are there some similarities? You bet. Is this a clone? Fuck no. If this were a clone, this would be an absolute shitty clone because it goes in a slightly different direction.
be hyped, and usually I'm not one to jump on the clone train. I mean, I like clones, but I usually don't wear them over the originals. I'll review them for you guys, and
there you go. He said it himself. I won't wear them. I'll just review them for you. Did you guys hear that? Do you guys need me to play that again? Hold on.
Be hyped, and usually I'm not one to jump on the clone train. I mean, I like clones, but I usually don't wear them over the originals. I'll review them for you guys, and
there you go. There's your review community, people.
And when it comes to other fragrances that are under 30 bucks that are inspired by, or even ones that are being hyped across the fragrance community, I'm usually not one to jump on the hype train. I usually just do brand new release designer fragrances, and then any kind of niche that I'm in love with that I want to talk to you guys about, or indie, obviously. But anyway, today you guys convinced me otherwise. So we're going to be doing my full review of this one. It is Dumont Nitro Red. So I did my first impressions on my live stream, but I will still show you the presentation just so you can see it. The fragrance I got for like $30 to $34, which is the average price across the board. I'll put a link in the description, but this is the box.
Isn't that odd how he's not very interested in these type of fragrances, but when they're $30, he has the full bottle of it. But more expensive fragrances that he is interested in, he has decants of them. But I assure you, the bottle doesn't matter. And it's not that he doesn't have the full bottles of these other fragrances because they're expensive. It's because the bottle doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of another reason, but no, it's because he just doesn't have the money for those kind of bottles.
Mine came damaged, but the bottle was fine. This is an eau de parfum, and
read the top of that box. It says Dumont, moron.
3.4
Dumont, not Simon. We still don't know who Simon is.
4 ounce, 100 milliliter. Nothing else really available on there. Just the ingredients and all that kind of stuff, and the website. Not that you guys care about that. This is the bottle. This is what all of the Nitro bottles come in. And I also found out that there's 2 other lines under Nitro or under Dumont. So I have to check those out. I heard they're very good. But this is the bottle. It has this like kind of leather placard around the entire thing. Has a little tag here, which I don't like. And I also don't like things that hang off bottles, but it is what it is. $30 bottle, whatever. And then the cap. It doesn't have a magnetic strip, and it also doesn't sit in place. So do not pick it up from the cap. Just an FYI. And then as far as the atomizer, there we go. It's a $30 atomizer. I mean, it's honestly better than a few of the $30 atomizers out there. Has a decent disbursement. It's nothing that people are going to complain about. And the bottle doesn't leak or anything like that.
Through the study of movement, Cool introduced our first articulated pant in 1996.
Like that. So we're good. So Dumont Nitro Red, what's it all about?
I'm just curious about how he could put full review in one video and have the bottle and have the box and then speak about the atomizer and then speak about the presentation all the way from the tassel to the tag to the cap. He called it a magnetic strip, but I think he meant magnetic cap. And how he could talk about all of that. And that's a full review. And then in the very next day, pull out one of these, and this is also a full review.
Well, this is a full review, so let's take a look at the notes so you guys can follow along with me. The top notes are apple, lavender, and the bottle doesn't leak or anything like that, so we're good. So Dumont Nitro Red, what's it all about? Well, this is a full review, so let's take a look at the notes so you guys can follow along with me. The top notes are apple, lavender, and bergamot. The mid notes are watermelon, cedar, and calamus. And the base notes are amber, sandalwood, and patchouli. Don't know what calamus is, so I'm not going to really talk about that, but it's not something you really need to know. And the base notes are amber, sandalwood, and
there's a note in here. It's in the mid, but I don't think you really need to know. Calamus. Even I don't know what it is. Let's look it up. I think it's some kind of a watery note. Calamus is a grass-like plant found in swamps and near rivers. Has a long history of use in traditional Chinese medicine. There's 4 types of calamus. So it's kind of a green note. Why am I doing more research watching a review than this guy did making one? That's what I want to know. The oil smells like a bright medley of spices, herbs, hardwoods, and citrus fruits. Herbaceous, green, sweet, and leathery. Oh, that's good to know. Now I know it, but he still doesn't.
Patchouli. Don't know what calamus is, so I'm not going to really talk about that, but it's not something you really need to know. This has been talked about since
That's right, guys. You don't need to know what's in it or what it smells like.
March as being a watermelon Invictus, which is also compared to Zaharoff, First Instinct together.
Fragrance smells absolutely nothing like Zaharoff. I don't think Invictus smells like Zaharoff. When I smelled Zaharoff, I assumed that the reason it smelled so different from Invictus was because they were basing it off that previous 2016 batch. And like you just saw me get the new release of the old batch. No, they don't smell alike either. So this guy is just basing most of his knowledge off on like what other people said and not him actually experiencing any of it.
Legend Spirit, all those type of fragrances out there. This one fits that mold. It is.
By the way, Legend Spirit kind of smells like the newer Invictus, but with a ton of bathroom cleaner in it. And when I say bathroom cleaner, I mean there is a literal ingredient that is found in bathroom cleaners. So much of this ingredient that when Jeremy Fragrance reviewed it, he named the ingredient and said it is an ingredient found in most bathroom cleaners. So when you smell Legend Spirit, you're going to smell bathroom cleaner.
I would still say I have to give the little shout out to Zaharoff. Hawas with the plum is still my favorite from this style of DNA, but this is closer to Invictus because while Hawas has the plum mixed together with that watery, aquatic woodiness, what is Invictus and First Instinct together and all of them known for? It's that apple mixture. It's the apple aquatic. It's the fruity aquatic. That's what that entire style of DNA is around, is fruity aquatic. This one, no different. It still has the apple. It still has the aquatic notes. It's fresh. It's ozonic. And then people have been saying watermelon Invictus. So when you hear watermelon Invictus, what is the first note that you think it's going to smell like? You think it's going to smell like watermelon. Well, honestly, I was shocked because when I first sprayed this on, I was like, doesn't smell like watermelon Invictus. It smells like Invictus with a decent amount of apple. It has that lavender, has a little bit of this kind of, I would say like a green bergamot, but more of like a candied green bergamot.
The reason he doesn't smell watermelon, but he smells like this green bergamot, is because he's confusing a picture of a watermelon and he's confusing the color of the bottle with watermelon, like what a watermelon Kool-Aid would taste like, or maybe even the pulp of the watermelon, what a watermelon would taste like. But anybody who's smelled watermelons knows that watermelons smell like the outside of them. They actually smell green. And without even doing it, I guess I could do it for you guys. Watermelons are a green note, so that's probably why you're smelling a green, a green bergamot.
If you want watermelon, still go with this one, Triple X Watermelon Shine, which I just happen to have on my table right now for my next video. But Triple X Watermelon Shine, that's a natural watermelon. That's what you would want to go for. Yes, it's a little bit more expensive by copper still, but still. So when you first spray this on, it smells like Invictus. It's fruity, aquatic, the apple, bergamot. You do get a slight bit of watermelon under there, but this is more of almost like a candied watermelon, not a natural watermelon. Like it's not fresh and juicy. It's not, but the fragrance itself is a ozonic, fresh.
Here we go. Most artificial watermelon fragrances and flavors end up smelling like a teenage girl's shampoo, tasting about as subtle as a Jolly Rancher candy. So I think that's the scent of watermelon this guy's reaching for, or thinks what watermelon should smell like. But there's two main chemical compounds responsible for watermelon fragrances, and they're a pair of aldehydes. The two that are actually in watermelons are C6 and C9 aldehydes, which are typically described as being green smells. Again, the watermelon's red. I taste watermelon Jolly Ranchers. Duh, this smells green. Duh.
Like a little bit aquatic underneath it. It is definitely a little bit watery, but it's focused around that apple, the lavender, that Invictus style DNA. And I do have to say, as it compares to the Invictus line, I would say that Dumont Nitro Red, while I like the Invictus bottles better, I think this is better than any of the comparable Invictuses. I haven't tried Aqua 2016, but compared to Legend, the original Invictus Aqua, the newest version of it, not the 2024, but the one that came out right before that, like 2020 or 2018 or whatever. This is better than that because it has a little bit of a nuanced difference.
It smells like apple, just like Invictus. There's just one problem with that, Randy. There's no apple in Invictus or Invictus Aqua. There's no apple. It smells like apple, just like Invictus.
And that nuanced difference is a little bit of that candied bergamot and some of that watermelon. Again, the watermelon's not prominent, but as soon as I sprayed this on, you know what the wife said? She goes, "What are you wearing? That smells amazing." I said, "That's what Halen bought me, my daughter." And she's like, "Yeah, that's a really good fragrance." So if you want the wife's approval, you got it. It is a bit more youthful. I would say this is definitely a just like going out during the summer, having fun style scent. While it does have a little bit of a depth and ambery tone as you get to the dry down in a bit of a woody tone, that would really lean this to be any season. I mean, I think you could.
All right, it's time to cut the shit. Let me explain to you what this actually smells like. Yes, there are similarities to the 2018 Invictus Aqua, meaning that it does also smell like a little bit like a bathroom cleaner. It is fruity. But the problem with this fragrance here is the opening smells amazing. It smells fresh and it smells clean, which is the opening is what he's actually describing, because again, he doesn't wear the fragrance. I don't know if you can see how much I've actually used of this fragrance. Not very much, but I have worn. I wore it once, and then I spilled a 2 ml decant, 2 or 3 mLs, and I burned through that decant. So I've worn a few mLs of it. The problem with this fragrance is as wonderful as the opening smells, you get into that dry down and it smells very cheap. It's no doubt a $30 fragrance. No doubt this is a rack store fragrance. And if you like this kind of fragrance, you have so many better options, even at that price. I mean, what does even a clone? You can get a clone of like a vintage Invictus Aqua. You can get that Michael Malul I had it cost more. You could probably get that for like $60 somewhere. That Visionaire Midnight Blue, which shits all over this fucking fragrance, takes an absolute fucking dump on this fragrance. So Hawass takes a dump on this fragrance. Hawass Ice takes a dump on this fragrance. This fragrance did not need to be made. It's getting hyped because it's $30. And again, You don't have any fragrances, anything like this, you want to blow $30, it's not bad. But I'm telling you, if you do have fragrances and taste, this fragrance dries down like shit, and you're much better off with so many different fucking choices. Unless you're like me and you already have those choices and you want something different, you love to try new things. This ain't it. This is another problem with TikTok and YouTube, and it doesn't smell horrible, and it's $30. Therefore, everybody can buy it. Therefore, I can get a ton of views pushing this. And the reality is, whether it's $30, whether it's $60, whether it's $100, it's just not that good. It isn't. It really isn't. I've smelled so many fragrances that smell better than that. Jimmy Choo Aqua. Jimmy Choo Aqua for about $40, you can get a bottle this size. For like $60, you can get a bottle of Jimmy Choo Aqua like the size of my head. You can get anything in the Jimmy Choo line that smells better than this. Total, absolute, just fake news, fake hype, fake reviewers. That's the problem. Someone was pretty interested in this 1 million gold. 1 million gold. I might as well sniff this live. Maybe I can smell it live, and the 8 seconds I've worn it, I can cut it and make a review out of it. You know, a piece of paper here and sniff it. This is almost a blind buy, but really the reason it's almost a blind buy because it comes in a 200 ml bottle. I'm becoming very Sebastian in the fact that I love the big bottles, the big juicy bottles, as the Cologne podcast likes to call them. Wow, this is all right. 1 million gold off the rip. Reason I don't like it starts off with Mandarin Orange, and the reason I don't really, not a big fan of Mandarin Orange is because I like a real strong, bright opening when you use a citrus, like a Amalfi Lemon, Calabrian Bergamot. I love those openings. Mandarin Orange is always a soft, kind of subtly sweet citrus orange scent, and this does have this. And the problem with Mandarin Orange is also that opening, those top notes always burn off like very quickly. The Polo Reds have the problem using the Mandarin Orange. But in the base, even before I look at these notes, this is green, subtle green, soft green. This is almost like a tame. Yeah, no wonder. I do get cedar, and I do get the sandalwood in here. And what I was about to say before I even saw that it had sandalwood in here, and I was going to say, this is a very tame version of Louis Vuitton Lovers. So much so that the reason I would even compare it is because it's damn near like a clone, like a clone that missed. And this is good and bad. And the reason for that is, me personally, I think Louis Vuitton Lovers might be a bit too much for people. Might be a bit too challenging. This would challenge no one. This is absolutely safe, which also makes it absolutely boring. I do like the sandalwood. The sandalwood in here is very I don't want to say spicy, but like a certain kind of cinnamon sandalwood in here. Yeah, this is not what I would expect from Paco Rabanne and 1 million. This might be the worst one. This might be the worst 1 million in the line, unfortunately. But if you're looking for a clean office scent, I mean, I don't even think I'd give it a wearing, to be honest with you. Why would I wear this? For what? I have I have Louis Vuitton lovers. Why on earth would I wear this? Oh, 1 million. But the Aqua was good. You know, thank you guys for watching. We had a good old time roasting fake reviewers. Next time we'll find a good one. We'll find it. I think maybe tomorrow I'm going to try to live stream and we're going to watch the GOAT. We're going to watch Robes 08. He's going to show us how it's done. I don't think I could live through another horrible dude type fucking stream. It's terrible. This shit's terrible. We're gonna check out Robes. We're gonna see how a real reviewer does it. I'm gonna even take notes, and you know, we can't just shit on the horrible reviewers like that guy that earlier, like he said, who's probably got Randy posters all up in his bedroom. We're not gonna beat a dead horse. We're gonna do like a fucking what is it called? A jockey. We're gonna pick a fucking stallion. We're gonna saddle that motherfucker up. We're gonna fucking ride a real fucking workhorse. We're gonna the GOAT. Robes 08. He's gonna show us. He's gonna show us what real reviews look like, and he's gonna pull out real fragrances. He's not gonna pull out absolute garbage like fucking 1 million gold. The fuck out of here, fucking 1 million gold. The gloves are off now. 1 million gold fucking sucks. Yeah, I said it. It fucking sucks. It's terrible. Who made this? I think this fragrance, somebody smelled Louis Vuitton lovers and they said, we got to make our own version of that. We got 2 weeks before anybody notices what that other fragrance smells like. And they whipped this fucking shit up in a bathtub somewhere. Maybe they called Chris the CEO and they say, hey, when you drain that trash, when you drain that fucking skunk piss known as CEO, Chris the CEO's the boss, why don't you whip us up a batch of fucking Le Mans of Louis Vuitton lovers, whip us up a clone of it. And they came up with this and put it in a fucking gold bullion. But it ain't a gold bullion. It's gold bullshit. It's shit. Don't fucking buy it. Don't buy it. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna probably look at some 1 million gold reviews and wonder what the fuck these people were thinking, if they liked it. And maybe they'll shit on it because it sucks. Peace out.